Matter now, who would you have? Ebusuafo na dey you on a different level. Na dey on different level. Mamu na akwa about the TRK multimedia. So and then they kan ya wo hwan ya bomodi so go follow yen. Na bibia ya kama. You didn't know YouTube TRK multimedia on YouTube. Or call TikTok to TRK multimedia or TikTok. I mean call work. You so yeah guess. Dominic Ghana and so on am the baby. Yes, baby and I'm here the baby. Yeah, na say him say yeah yi kakra. Ya tia tom kakra so move chen. Dey bia ye pacho. Yeah. Okay. My yansha Black Stars for recent matches your boy. Yeah, the Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago. Your performance compared to the last, I think last 2 or 3 World Cup qualified from boy. Na ye na ni him so team no. And say you move in there. If you say oh it's a fluke. But looking at the performance against Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago a good team though, but you know, we can't use them to assess the team properly. To me, you know. But against Nigeria, no, though we lost, but you know, to my layman's point of view, no, which means some certain quarters of the game, you know, they performed very well. Ebusia, na me kan say waba aha TRK multimedia. Dominic Agwaba. Okay. All right, I mean, first of all, players are invited players, you know. Na yemfa enka yensem. Say who list na ebia me no microphone ba ko penti no. Ebia say who list wo nchen dey able to me ama me run down. Players invite them na yato aso.
Abianta mguzu a me bi ntimeba.
Oh, okay.
Bi na fi. Listen about unze say na me kan yin chia tia ke tiefo na na yesa mo akwa ba. Emra tia dani dey na ka che say be try na ya fom dey say ye de nsempa ene nkomode ebebre na de tie ni Otuado ka bibi say he needed more try games to give those players now for some time now. But because yeah, World Cup qualification, yeah, near bring and time no be try and error. And into your opportunity, yes, now on who they can also bring on board. Say be a hot so yeah. So some commodity any man and as a Unity Cup game, yeah, be two and as a bit two. So the FA of all the 4 countries, you know, they are drained by heavily headed by Yankasa FA president Oraketo Kriku. No contacting Nigerians na trigger offended. Jamaica also got involved and then the other team got involved and then gradually it came to reality and say boss our tournament. And to add the purpose for this tournament they say one na wonye bimbo and say one or invite oma ohun ye ebia when 5 minutes when 10 minutes be the banizana you cannot see the real strength of the player. Say ebia ye ko tournament say we ni wa e betumi di we aba say we ni wa we betumi aba replace na say bibi. So to adu ni main motive ni say I want to give those players opportunity enough time to watch them, give them some of the chance to watch them so well. They can also bring on board. So they've been in a list for a very long time, but you new opportunity and from that. There are players to be able to monitor for some time. You new opportunity cry and from to the national team that.
Okay.
Into those players get opportunity and get a chance, into this team. The Evan tournament and at least 2 matches there. You can get at least 45 krana. It's enough. And training, so those are time and they also get the chance to train. Now me who training, I can get full assessment of them and then we can move on. So that was the motive of this match.
Okay.
Players need be more regularly. No, Obama chance no match. Be but maybe at time they also manage and see, and that's the reason. Four Nation tournament we be ya. Ntina players ni ba starting 11 yen most of the players. He decided, say no, let me give others the opportunity to see what they can also bring on board when the time comes.
Okay, nti sɛ yɛgu so yɛkasa no sɛ ɛba sɛ wotumi ebie wei no a na wama yɛn players na yɛ invite wɔn no so that we'll be able to know, have the fair idea about how many players they invited and who. Oh, okay, have you brush your teeth? Okay, that's good. Go make food for him. So we'll be
Okay,
able to know.
players in here.
Okay.
Nigeria may born based on game day. Then gradually we will all come to realization of the number of players that was invited. They invited around 20 something, almost 30 players they invited.
Okay.
But on the game day, Benjamin Asare in the starting post, that's against Nigeria. Gideon Mensah, Stephen Ambrosius, Aaron Issel, Mahmoudou, Kamara Dean, Razak Simpson, Abdul Salis, Majid Christopher Bonsuban, Jordan Ayew as a captain, Pampuku of Kotoko. Against Nigeria, this is the starting lineup or the starting bench. You will always Anning Joseph, Ebenezer Anan, Kalipiyunchi, Abu Francis, Abdullahi Aziz Isa, Laurie Brandon Thomas Asante, and Afif Hussein Mohammed. On the match day, these were players on the ball first match against Nigeria. You better play in the first 11. It was only Jordan Ayew, any Gideon Mensah, any Bias, Abdul Samet Salis. One pen maybe I the way regular first and one bupi. Ashmiro, enya a lot of collab, but unfortunately, on to me, enya playing time. Collab nebu onya, nebu he will pull out of injury. So these are all the situations. Okay, let me add you to the team because you qualify for World Cup, and then with the World Cup, at least position one opposition. To say be a far right back, at least we two or pray. Your far left back, I'll be on two or pray. Your back center forward, at least two each. 22 players. They are extra talented players. Be 4 bias account in case of emergency. Nanka ya fill them in. So this was the first 11 OUC, yeah. But I think that the introduction of this guy, Bonsu, yeah, Christopher, yeah, he played similar to Tony Cruz, and as a Nesuyama, and then he did well. He had the footwork. He was very impressive on the day. He could do a lot of things with the ball. And even without the ball, his defending sense and defending ability was a bit higher as compared to the Kudus there. But the Beckers will be a man akunya for no batting move for. Those are some of the things he does. Until we see Sabia and the first time in Tinibia, he was able to do those things in there. But he impressed a lot. He made a statement said, on any day, if Kudus is not around, on any day, if Enesnyama is not around, or this guy or Leicester City, Fatau Shaiku, if he's not around, now invite him last as he made a strong point. Say, make Christopher Bonsuban. I can be captain when it comes to that position and other positions. Until for the new introduction, I think he made a very strong point. And San Ebeka substitutes na ebimuno. Yeah, on the day, Aaron Issel. Unfortunately, he was pulled out. I'm sorry, I think 8 minutes or so. So 15 minutes of the game, Nana, we in the film because of injury. Injury. We fair share of And then Ambrosius. Also, as Oba no ko. He's the type now. He plays. He's all-round player. Otumbo center back. Otumbo midfield. Otumbo attacking third. The coaching say or a utility player. So as and when he needs him, now or the number. But on the day for me, and I said for me, Dominic there, I was not so impressed about his performance. He lacked a lot of things. He was slow to the ball because as a center back and Auburn, You need to be quick to the ball because strikers they turn in and out. But on the day he was very slow for me. He caused a lot of fouls in our box. He caused a lot of fouls, which is not accepted because who need team be ball? If you are playing against the highest competition like Germany, like Argentina, and you get those fouls, it's more or less like a go to them. And at that highest level, we cannot afford to making those mistakes. He played well, he did well. But for me, say ranking a 10, man be 3 and 4 on the day's performance. It was a no for me. But Rebecca said for the purpose of utility, he can be added to him, probably. Because on baby
me pacho na what in kakra because it's you from English they want to know who is talking and they want to know your facial expression in the way away, you know. Into my share players now we invite you me na no any performance against Nigeria just say na walking. For each department, you know, from goalkeeper Benjamin Asare, that day no consider two. Do you think say 2 goals was his fault? And I say it was a poor team organization or defensive organization.
Yeah, a poor defensive organization, and then finally it was a mistake by a player, and then they took him home.
You know, for honestly, we don't want to mention the name of any player because maybe on more this time, you know, right there. We ain't any party any per se.
But that is the reality. A defender made that mistake. Then and the defender made a mistake and I got punished.
Two goals, if you certain place, but now me say, oh yes, I know, and I say,
but on the day it was error on the part of the defenders, you know, and then the goalkeeper got, so we are not mentioning anybody, neither are we tagging somebody, but that is the truth. That there was an error in the defense line, and then when it happens like that, few cases with some few special goalkeepers have the ability to do those things. A bit is a Buffon, a back critical, certain opportunities be or and are they able to save situation. Even one they do concede when such mistakes do come. They are normal. On the considering that
first one because now a kind of deflection because the goalkeeper was going to the direction of the first touch or call the direction of the first touch in a deflection by into even a Ukraino because of that the reflexes was very good which or diverty but not speed of the ball.
Similar opportunity came in the second half of the game was a latter part of the first half. And also say a deflected by no dying what to do the save ball man corner. And then he has to switch and then get a save and a touch on the ball, and he was able to do it so well.
Oh, okay. All right. Line up now the man first, you know. But me able to be.
Benjamin Asari was the goalkeeper. Gideon Mensah, Stephen Ambrosius, Aaron Issel, then Mahmoud Kamaradine, Razak Simpson, Abdul Samit Salis, Majid Ashmeru, Christopher Bonsuba, and Afi Jordan Ayu, and Afi Kwame Poku from Kotoko.
This was the line. Kwame Poku performance, you know. Who said then a man who do me kakra? Was it the suppliers, the fault of the midfielders, inaccurate or inefficient supplies, or so what I mentioned, insufficient supplies to the striking force, you know, Emma went to man effective, and I said because we were playing against the better side.
Okay, I never realize it, but playing against the better side too is part because the head of him Kakra into Omo Bono, they didn't want to give him the chance because they knew what he could do because the move to Egypt spread through Africa. Egypt so I think so they monitored him. But then secondly, we were playing 4-3-3. That was the initial setup and as a tactical arrangement coach in RG. And then he was always left alone because other ones Bonsunu was spread too wide. The Bonsunu was playing from the right side of attack, and then Jordan was on the left side of attack. And all of them, Jordan want to field the ball. Until Jordan was moving through the middle. Until Emma, he was alone, playing against 3 defenders. Until the ball man of Krana, they will still take the ball from him.
Okay.
At a point, I saw his frustration, and it was like now I expressed on him because he realized that no.
Jordan, now we deflected from friends from the position, you know.
Onya ball numpona onya supporter. He can lay the ball back to who are over for the second ball, but nobody was coming. Onya ball na yono against 3 defenders, and as I told you that time, Nigeria for they well-established team on the buy because they are building upon their team. Coach, you know, are building upon the team, so it was a well-established team and on the buy. So the central defenders were at their top. And playing against somebody like Kwampoku, even though he has risen through the ranks from 2nd division, 1st division, play Kotoko, went to Egypt and found Obasanyaba. But then playing against those top professionals, you know, you need an experienced hand. You need people who are also well established, who have played against them for a while, who knows the in and out and how to go about things. But unfortunately, he tried everything he could, but Amfama on the day. I think he was also a bit more silent because or dropping deep at people only be about na coach in it and on sign it or sign it so a boss. The suppliers were not coming to him. The few ones that came to him, few ones in a ban in Chenoso was cut off because Obedan he will be in the midst of 3 defenders. And over it takes players with exceptional abilities to go through or go past such defenders and as such defenders. So for Kwampoku, I think he's a goal poacher. He scores at any angle, he scores from any point. So I think he needs to be added to the team for the team to understand him and I said one thing I say and how he operates. And I think it will go a long way to help out because Kwampoku is well established goal poacher.
Mamimbisa, this rhetorical question. Do you think, say, the attitude or the behavior of General Ayew, the captain, no, knowing very well, say, because Osha second game now, he was on top with the other players. He was like on top with the other players. Now, boy. You know, looking at the first game, no, I would say, some Konusu training more, Eboa with Bonsuba, any Kwampoku. No, drop by, no. Well, do you think it could be one of these games of footballers deliberately to you know, render ineffectiveness of certain players, especially first players now, first starters now when they come, say be our first timers or me first timer. When they come, they think they say, "Oh, this person is a threat." You know, I have to do something to run him ineffective. You think it could be one of those tricks?
For the Jordan I know, and because I know him and I've been following him for a while, I will say no. But I will say that it is out of unwanted indiscipline.
Okay.
Jordan without control becomes very indisciplined on the pitch of play. And just say no, but on the field of play, Jordan is one person. So one he's very indisciplined. Because first time it came in. Jordan between hold the ball now on pass it down.
On pass it. Okay.
Jordan hold on to the ball on passing them when to release the ball was a problem. Because Jordan becomes very indisciplined. It is true that coach in Shadow Hammer said this is the role you are playing today, but you need to support. But so I was expecting the coach to tell him what to do. But unfortunately, you know, Kwampoku was the scapegoat because he was a victim at the end of the story, and then he was taken out and taken off. Meanwhile, somebody didn't play his role well, which affected him. But for Jordan Sabotier, no, that one I don't see it that way. But how I see it, that Jordan, one player, he's very indisciplined when it comes to tactical arrangement. So why Shen so best say with tactics? Because he's one person or person he wants to prove that with me I have the skill to take on players. So Jordan will come for the ball from center, dribble, and that was what he did on the match the first half. Until second half, when the decision was made, Jordan was made to play as the main striker So that one, he didn't have any role coming back. And he was supported by those people who supported.
Okay. Before we continue, no, let me read a couple of comments that has come. SSSG Smart Media, I say, hi. And also the same SSSG Smart Media say great start. On one also say the team wasn't bad. Then there is one called Mbene in Koki. You see, hi. Then behind the Ocean TVC, wow, nice program like TikTok. Okay, keep it up. Yes, hold on. Go. No. Open it. Go. Go. Go inside. All right. Yeah. So these are the comments about so far. No. Let's look at Ashimeru. Ashimeru ne Salis Summit. What do you think amounted to their slow start against Nigeria? And I say Nigeria no why because looking at the second game, they played very well, very compact in the second game. Against Nigeria, and what do you think was the problem?
The problem was the coach. Why am I saying that? We are playing against Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to play the tactics that is a bit familiar to us. What you say? Because when you team bia na who dey no form kakra. That's when you try your new tactics. Now who say pekia, then you play it among the bigger and the tougher positions. What you
Okay.
say? So in the beginning we were playing 4-3-3. But the understanding of the 4-3-3 was a bit difficult between Salis and Ashmeru. Ashmeru
Okay.
him say the ball playing type into some major ball non for man. But per the understanding and per the confusion in the first half of the game, I realized both of them wanted to chase the ball and play. So at a point, Sam is out of position. Samuel was always out of position during the first half. Until second half, Nobel net 3 back with 5 midfielders and the 2 strikers. That was when Ashimiru the Musa say ever gave him because at that time you are known when we say about 3 back. So now Sam Ashimiru love to do, and that's what he knows how to do best. Sam the enemy say what they attack, you are passing what you want. But unfortunately, he also in the first half and as the first 35 minutes wanted to do similar as Ashimiru. I didn't know what point he wanted to prove to anybody though, because we know you, Summit, and we know what you can do. So we were expecting him to do what he wanted to do. Until I say indiscipline on the part of Black Stars, it goes a long way to hurt us in so many ways. Summit too is one guy, one or Pekasa. He likes complaints, and he's also one person a bit indisciplined when it comes to tactical disposition.
Okay.
Obese, oh yeah, Jumana should be. When I can say, consume you are the first pivot who's supposed to take all those tackles, take all those balls. So if you leave your job for somebody, na Ejumana Nkoye, when I say addition, because he pointed fingers and then he's a bit well established, injury in a hand or call for a very long time. He feels like he's still a senior player. But Ashmeri the type now on Kasa, he doesn't talk. That's not he does not talk. He hardly speaks about things. But second half of the game, there was vast improvement between them. And then the second game too, they played very well and then played very compact. Even to me, the second game also, opponents also was a very big factor. Was a very big factor.
Yeah, we're going to look at the second game, but Summit issue, me, I was looking at it in this way. Say, he's still a senior player, and he was absent due to injuries. Even on starting crash or Bobo, the coach has sidelined him for a while. I think he said na Isuru Kakraka ho. He was under pressure, kind of under pressure to perform. Since a players beat his party, any around to cover him of his certain mistakes. Now he was kind of under pressure to perform. Now if you want to be excellent, so you happen to make too much of mistakes. I mean, that was, I think, apart from that, that was also a factor.
For the right back position for some time, it has become very difficult. I say after John Pains and John Pains still the right back position has been a bit on and off. At a point, Samed will come and play. At a point, this guy Tariq Lamptey will come and play. At a point, they'll force a back to play from that angle. Right back, some Odoi, that old player, and Odoi will come and play at a point in time. So it means that the right back is not stable. That is why he keeps on bringing in players. And then for the performance he demonstrated on the day there, I think he's an option to consider on any day. Because he's 19 years, he's very young, and with time he can be the best we can have, and I say he can fill up the gap so that we can move on. So he's an option to consider. Because looking at how he set forward, joining the attack, some pull-ups and then flying over he did into the box, and then it's a whole assessment it's a fair
Do you
game.
know, sir, it got to a time I even forgot that he's a right back. I was thinking he's a winger.
Because we needed
he was playing like Samuel Inkum, you know.
Because that time, now assessment tactics 9 and 3 back, so he was supposed to play at the middle part of the pitch. Unless say he defend there, then he will come and feel it now 4 back. He was free to move because he about 3 back. So we were playing from the 3 back. So at a point and then the 5 midfielders, he joins the other midfield to become and he's always supposed to be at the third half. Unless when we lose the ball and it's about scoring, then you come and join the defense. Bishop now 4 now he used to play. So the other one also on the left side, one now 5 defenders with 4 midfielders and then 1 striker. So that was how the tackle was being alternated. Yeah.
Okay, Mayasha against Trinidad and Tobago. Then when we finish, we run up the tactical discipline of the coach and the whole behavior of the entire team. Against Trinidad and Tobago, Mayasha line up, no? Na Mayasha more perform first one and the second one.
Yeah, he gave Lawrence Atizigi the nod to start. Gideon Mensah still played. Stefan Ambrosius still played. Kalipienchi now comes in. Abu Francis also steps into the midfield. Razak Simpson also played. Ibrahim Suleimana also played. And then Lawrence Ejeku. That striker no Babesha, nice, beautiful goal. Then Christopher Bonsuba, Jordan Ayew, and if your man Mohamed Gaddafi. Also the opportunity. Yeah, we know started for our game. And then I would say that the opponent now what they know from that was one. Now what they know from it's only 1. Now 2. Because Yabo first game now Yati and one say kakra man. Because Yabo first game na we na gradually as a new assistant coach in the Bayern, Omati CNT went a long way to help in the second game. I man, you might a bit easier. Even though
the first game against Nigeria was kind of practice rehearsal against Trinidad and Tobago. You know, against Trinidad, the next they were more compact.
Most of the players who had not played themselves. Now, players may be no more. But after the first game, they are more. Me who's a way to me to me kakwa. Me who's a way to me say. Me who's a way to me Danny say. So at that time, I think they've had a fair idea about each of them. So the second game becomes more easier and then more relaxing than the first game. And then looking at the energy edition, we realized that Nigeria took us by surprise in the first 15 minutes. So we didn't want to take those surprises.
The first 2 goals, it was too quick.
They didn't want to take that surprises again. So they rather took the game to them. And then that was the results we had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, into the performance. Renchi. As I say, now commentators in the Bonnie Deans, I don't know whether because he's a young player and he was performing like that, or because I don't know why. Renchi Bonsu, these 2 guys.
And so as I said, the Bonsu guy have shown say when the Nesuniama is not around on the right side of attack, I can start. When Kudus is not around behind the striker, I can play. So the Bonsu has established himself and showed what he can do. So he's one player, he was able to take on players, he was able to shoot at goal, he was able to create more chances, he was able to take on the play. Bonsu established a lot of things, sir. Me feel say very promising to our national team. And that is how come a lot of people were mentioning his name and then going for him, say no, he can help. So both is a tip of say on any day or negative no one is better because if you bench bar yeah of him on because we know his abilities obetumi atwe player obetumi shoot obetumi ashiko obetumi creative foul obetumi creative penalty. So the bones is sealed. Then Irenchi, as I said, our right back system has been in a lot of shambles. We have tried everything possible to get the right back, but any right back or irregular. At a point, Samuel was one be babebo, Salisu bebabebo. Another point, Lamti beba. Another point, they will bring in Odoi. So 3 players have been vying for that position, and then all of them obi to me mono senior coach in everything because coach watch him there he wants to play the 3-back system, so you need somebody who is more attacking minded when it comes to that role. So Renchi was being able to be or sign or to me stretch forward no more to me join attack no or the recovery no so was very high. So if a right back, a person as a wing back, like what the Frimpong of Germany has been doing, that Frimpong guy of Netherlands now,
Jeremy Frimpong, yeah.
And as under Arnold, what he has been doing with that right back role now, you are more offensive than defending. What Diago Dalla did Manchester United. No, then these guys understand this guy Renchi understand the system better than those who have been playing. Because those who have been playing like they understand the system. It's the way I say, no to me born here. No to me born here no sounds so younger there. Why don't you support him? Because now we have barely some few months to prepare for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Nti say yenye obi no to me born say dia. Form no so the apeke. Who form no apeke. So why don't we encourage him? Why don't you let the coach give him more playing time? Then probably he will be well established in the team. Then gradually we know say constant right backer. He can start on any day. Senior first ni to me kata John Pence will start from the right side of our defense. No? The same way yenye obi na was stroke kakra. Why don't you support and let the coach give him more time and see if it can work for us?
Okay.
So I think it's good.
Ebusiafo say reference what journey high TRK multimedia the sports segment, you know. We are trying to see if we can do more of such live programs. Maybe 30-40 minutes will be okay. At least to come your way with updates and stuff. And say and then they can so what journey and I say if you've not subscribed, please try as much as possible to subscribe to our channel. Then when you finish, then you share. And my name Dominic Obo, all the way from Ghana, and I discuss this issue. Me akusia biti kunjumi mi din edi ataba fo jamra. Good to me, Ephraim the Royal King. Obo ma share the whole coaches tactics. You will bear 5 minutes to finish up. The coaches tactics now or deploy, according to analysis, it's the first one against Nigeria, you don't know whether because Nigeria was a stronger team, we couldn't fare well. If we had played against Trinidad and Tobago in the first match, KBA against Nigeria, we'll be able to know, say yes. The reason being that most of the players they've not played together before, almost all, apart from Jordan Ayew and Samed, yes, Gideon Mensah, nipa be 3-4 bi pe no. Enkai na ye new one. The coaches tactic, you nka formation ben nka pese nka obi nka omumbo together da no. Nka omun deploy for the first game against Nigeria. Coach 1 year and into ekose.
Unze Zenamican. They one players now been following the Black Stars for a while. So they have a fair idea about how to do that things and operate from the Black Stars. So coach loves to play as a 3-back. You or bar or 3-back neighbor. At a point the more near 4-2-3-1 near boy like 4-4-2. Into play tactics be I think only a bit comfortable. As in when we progress now be a week to camping training time. That's when you can easily be a new tactics be available. But if I am say Maka de bia say Otuado the tactical aspect of game of a will form the technical ability, Oh, and yes, obi time, obi and time. But who coaches? We've seen coaches. We've seen how coaches, even Milo Rival, we've seen what he came to do with the Black Stars. What I say, we see we saw what he came to do, playing that 5-4-1 formation with just one lone striker, where defenders say one goal, we saw what Kosiapia came with his 4-2-3-1. What I say, Kosiapia's ability to read the game and then change tactics at any point in time, making our Germany Ghana versus Germany 2010, also 2014.
No, 2014.
2014, making it the most tactical and the best game of that World Cup. Yet, if you match it was that competitive. Match. Still, it's on FIFA's record. It was the best game of that tournament. Indeed, you coaches, and we know what coaches can do. You coach by watch from the onset. Say, things now coaches need some more players and he struggles. It becomes very difficult for him. And that is where I stand. That is where I stand. See, a certain a fubi child fubi near Shawma. It's a plus for him because we're winning, so we need to give him the credit. But last year, World Cup qualify, we are making a. But can we play the same when we meet those big guys? Can we play the same kind of tactics and win and execute it well when we meet those big side of teams now? Can we? Those are the questions we ask. And playing against Nigeria and how we fed the first half, it shows clearly that these are coach's technical ability and I said the tactical ability. It is the coach's responsibility to read those things and then give instructions to the players so that they can change things and make things well. Even though first half by changes in year, he came a long way to help because he changed the total face of the game. Players no one didn't shame, no one can shame. I try I think at least equalizer or me a consolation goal. Fair. But and then no question say Coach Otuado, with all due respect to him, his technical ability, especially reading games. Say yes, starting out the tactics in the say now opposition no show BB. I said no to me reading, no finding antidotes to and no now to me taking in charge of the game. It becomes a very big problem for him, especially when he meets the big guys, the Nigerians, the Cote Malians. Coaches, Papa now, the South Africans. He struggles. And he shows clearly that I can't be brave. And that's all taxes. But that's the truth and that's the reality. Utuado, tactically, he has a long way to catch up. That's a long because so before so player baby at the bottom one boy on for a debate. This players we have is the best because who go England and once are playing day in day out. They are on top of their form. Even Jordan Ayew go relegation. We saw what Jordan Ayew was doing with Leicester City. We know what Enesnia was doing with Marseille, Lyon in France. We know what Salisu is doing with Monaco in France. We know what Juku is doing in Turkey. We know what Pate is doing with Arsenal. So if upon all this, now players see the way on body on team, now say when you quality way, no more blasters. Now you who glimpses via and as a show opponent or also players and yeah available equally their rank. Now see you who she there. Over who do we blame? We can't blame the players. It is the coach tactical ability question. Coach in tactical ability never question. It means that his tactics is low. On one so ABR now what do so nobody is against him, but the truth has to be said. Me work up here, I didn't be compromising. Say, you go to group a more dima. They say players na cry dimi natural say they don't believe what the coach is putting on the field. Players in dimi it shows a lot. The senior players omoba say who share here. Born here na abo kakra di chiri. Say player is happy with his coach's tactics. You will see it and you be no beka. Wow, we say player we ni coach no say they correct power. So that is it. The Obia insan Otuado there. But the truth is that the technical ability means the ability of reading games and finding antidotes to opposition's tactics and I don't know. Otuado need an ewo foam. It is so low. That is the truth, and that is our problem because see a bobo na nyama jigua. Coming back becomes very difficult. Coming back becomes very difficult. And those comebacks, mostly about 90% of those comebacks come from coaches, not players. Coach no who bibi. No from say no. Say no mo ye ama. Say no omo ye ama omutumi boye. Nti musu mu kwe wo ko gina ha na yesei na munye sei so that we can counter what they are doing. But unfortunately, ye coach no untumi man bi. Look at what happened at Barcelona versus Inter Milan Champions League semi-final. Inter scored. Hansen Flick realized where the spaces were. He countered it and gave an equalizer. They had a win 3-2. Inter coach came back again, read the game again, made changes to that effect, and then he brought them the results. This is what we are talking about. It is a control game in 15 minutes. You also control it for the next 15 minutes. Or shower within the 15 minutes. Make sure that you also get a goal. Those are the responsibilities of a coach we expect to see because he won't be. You saw what Coach did. At the point. Side no, you won't be Coach Kosia to me. I learned that they take that like 12 because German police so that's for Udwa. As I told you, now they beef up your squad. Oma kofa the psychologist for Brom kofa video analyst for me nukra na abrel. You have enough squad to be able to read games and change things.
Yeah, he has to learn. He has to learn fast because I don't think the Black Stars, this point, a team you practice, you practice your coaching. We need results. Say, yeah, or a young coach, or a Ghanaian. In this, or year, or my year now. This year was starting. Hopefully, we hope say we'll be gaining tactical, like knowledge more. Now in the future, or the Ababe the Black Stars, if he's able to gather these guys. Now, one thing that Mekuni said, it looks like the players, they are playing for Jordan. Since Jordan, since Jordan be a captain, players now are different. They are playing for him, and they I think they really respect him. Yeah, Bompire say when your players as you see, they are pushing. Into also no tactical knowledge kakra or no on tuning up. Now, if to me and from what team, nobody's against him. We want the best. No. Yeah, we want the best for Ghana, and we also wish him the best. Until Ebusia, I had many Dominic Obo, and I discuss here. Dominic, will you be available tomorrow or when? When will you go back to Cape Coast?
I'm traveling back to work by 6. I need to be at work.
Today. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We will find a way. We will try. Say for the next, next 1 month, I'll be available during the daytime. We will try. If Dominic will be available, we will discuss more of such topics. Say own subscribe. I hope since this is our first time I call this type of YouTube, go live together. I hope you give us a thumbs up. I hope you love it, and I believe the topics and the way we discussed, you love it. If you've not subscribed, try and subscribe. TRK Multimedia on YouTube. When you go to TikTok, TRK Multimedia, you can follow us there. So that we can bring more, good content to your doorsteps. Me didn't add the ataba for Jamra. Who frame out to me frame the royal game. But that's it. Say Woody Yankupon show Bibia. Dominic, I mean Shamu. Bye.